you today. So if you need a copy of this, everybody have one? Okay, so this is the worksheet that we're going to work off of for today, are these few sheets. But I wanted to start with, write this down. Listings are the name of the game. Anybody ever hear that before? Listings are the name of the game. He or she that takes the most listings wins in this marketplace. It is the 12th of January. It's the 12th of January. At the end of today, there will only be 50 more Mondays left in your year. Time is starting to run out. Which means what? Christmas is coming. It's on its way. And I wrote down here, number 3, what changes do I have to make in the activities that I'm doing right now to go on at least one listing appointment per week? One listing appointment per week. Now think about this, okay? I know that some of you are not going on one listing appointment a week yet. Yet the truth is that it shouldn't be, if you're talking to 175 to 225 people on every given week, why you shouldn't be going on at least one listing appointment a week. I believe the reason you don't is because you don't think you can. More than anything else, because you don't think you can. So I wrote down here, the key to taking listings is self-confidence, and the key to self-confidence is knowledge. So write that down. The key to self-confidence is knowledge. Knowledge of the scripts, what to say and how to say it. Knowledge of the client's motivation. Learning the scripts and using the pre-qualifying script and asking all of the questions to determine what the motivation of the client is. C, product knowledge, which means what?
Preview property.
Preview property. Woo! We have one winner over here. Preview property. Previewing all the properties in the area. So those are some of the things, those are some of the activities that we need to be working on over the next few weeks to really fulfill a great first quarter. So think about this. If you set 2 appointments a week for 40 weeks, that would be 80 appointments for the next 40 weeks, right? Because no one works 52 weeks, correct? But we're only going to plan on working the next 40 work weeks, okay? Because we're going to take a vacation, we're going to take some education, we're going to take some time off, there's going to be some holidays in there. So we're going to work 40 work weeks. So if you go on 80 appointments, that should yield you how many listings? At poor or average efficiencies, it should give you at least 80 listings. And if you go on 80 listings with average efficiencies, you should end up with 40 of those properties. And if you had 40 of those properties and half of those sell, you'd have 20 transactions. And if you had 20 transactions at $10,000 a transaction, you'd end up earning about $200,000 in the next 40 weeks. Now, would that be good or bad? Good. Hello? Good. Good. So I wrote down here, yeah, but wait a minute, Neil, I can't do that. The drunk monkey gets on our back. It stops us. It pushes us away. There's no way. I mean, hey, Neil, I talked to 200 people in the last 3 weeks, and I didn't set 2 appointments. So therefore, the system must not what?
Work.
Work. The key to this system is over time. Write that down. The key to this system is over time. The second key to this system is your desire. I can teach you the skills. The system can teach you what to say and how to say it. But we cannot teach you the desire. So what I want you to do is, in the goal setting process, draw a line on the sheet of paper, and one of the first sheets that you're going to work on here in this packet is going to be, where am I today? Where are you in your life today? We need a baseline. Describe where you live physically. Describe the relationship that you're in. Are you married? Are you single? Do you have kids? What's the relationship you have with your family? Is it good and loving and you like going home at night? Or not? I wrote down here, what's the money in the bank? And be honest with this. What do you actually have? When you start looking it up and you start writing it down on paper and you get a real accounting of where you are, both in your family and your finances, you start getting to understand what needs to be done. You create this baseline. Money in the bank, your investments, what debt you have. Write down what kind of car you drive. Write down what kind of income you're projecting for 2015. We're talking about spiritually and mindset. Do you go to church, mosque, or a synagogue? Do you do it on a regular basis? How many books have you read this year? How many books did you read last year? What's your goal for the books that you want to read this year? Remember, I said last week, you're going to be where you are in life 5 years from now. The only difference is going to be, the only change in that is going to be because of the books you've read and the people you hang out with. You guys get me on that?
Yes.
Because that's in the next 5 years. The books you've read and will read, and the people you hang out with. And then in terms of contribution, the donation of time, giving back to your church or synagogue or mosque, and the donation of money. It's not enough just to give of your time. You need to give money. It's not enough to give money. You need to give some of your time. All right? So then what I want you to do is I want you to turn the page on that. And I'd like you to write down the list of your goals. I'd like you to write down the things I would like to have. So write down 5 things I'd like to have. Maybe a new gold Rolex watch. Maybe a new BMW. I happen to like that new Porsche Panamera. It's a cool car. All right, I struck a chord out there. So write down 5 things I'd like to have. Take the time. This is your business plan. This is your plan. So I know we've talked about this year in and year out. We've been doing business plans with you for years. Some of you do a great job of lining these things out, and some of you just write nothing down, or you just put a word down. Take some time. Think about it, because this is the desire for you to go to the next level. Remember, I can teach you skills, I can't teach you desire. Why do you want to go to the next level? When you know your why, the how is easy. So take some time and write this down. I wrote down here in the next category is 5 things I'd like to do. 5 things I'd like to do. So, maybe you want to go on a trip. Maybe you want to take your family and pay for your family to go on a trip. Maybe you want to send your mom and dad on a trip. Maybe you want to send your spouse or significant other away on a trip. I don't know. I don't know. But whatever it is, maybe you want to send your kids away on a trip and you stay home. Maybe you want to send your kids to the school of their choice. You know, college is expensive. When I was educated, you had to have a high school diploma. That was really important. Very few of my friends went on to college. Today, I think the equivalent to that is a college education. I don't think having a high school diploma is enough. I think the kids today, just to be at the baseline, have to have some kind of college education. Well, going to a JC isn't that expensive. Going to a state school is getting more and more expensive every year. Going to an Ivy League school is going to cost you $65,000 to $70,000 a year for 4 years after taxes. So if you say to your kids, you can go to Stanford, you can go to Brown, you can go to Harvard, you can go to Yale, and the kids get into those schools, which would be for us as parents, wouldn't that be great? Yes. Wouldn't that be awesome if your kids got their SATs, they did their courses, they took all the different things that needed to be done, and they got into that school, and they ran home and they said, hey mom, hey dad, here I am, I got into the school, I need a check for $60,000. How would you feel if you didn't have it and you had promised it? Pretty bad, huh? Sometimes that's just the motivation enough that we need. So the next thing I wrote down here is places I'd like to go. Because maybe you have all the things you want. Maybe you're doing all the things that you want to do, but there's places you want to go. Maybe you want to fly first class to a World Cup soccer game. Maybe you want to take your family to a Disney cruise. And by the way, if you take your family on a Disney cruise, you can only go if you sign up for the concierge level, okay? And so just write that down. Don't ask, okay? Because there's the Disney cruise with the concierge level, and then there's everything else. So just know that. And they have these gorgeous one-bedroom suites that are connecting, so you can actually set it up where you can have 3 one-bedroom suites and your own veranda. I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, make that a goal. Take the kids out on a Disney cruise. It's absolutely, but only the concierge level. So I wrote down here, maybe you want to go to New York City first class for a week. You want to go, if you're going to do this, go when they have the subway series. Okay? So you fly in to New York during the summer, and you find out when they're going to do, the Mets are playing the Yankees or the Yankees are playing the Mets, and you stay someplace in Manhattan at some great hotel. You fly in business class. You stay at this great hotel. You go to these phenomenal restaurants. You get on the subway, and you go with all the other New Yorkers in the world, and some are wearing Mets caps and some are wearing Yankees caps. I'm telling you, it's an amazing day. It's an amazing day. No fights. Everybody's nice, kinda. Try that. That's exciting. Then I wrote down 5 things I would like to do to change in my life. I wrote down 5 things. This is just have to make another page on it. 5 things I'd like to do to change in my life. Stop smoking. Stop procrastinating. Lose 15 pounds. In my case, lose 25 pounds. Most of you think this was just one big taco. It's not true. These were many little tacos over time. What do you want to change? What do you want to change about yourself this year in 2015 that would be a positive change that you could tackle? Pick one thing and change it. Change it for the positive. Then on the next page, you need to write down into part of this business plan is, what are the top 5 things you learned in 2014? What are the top 5 things you learned in 2014? Doesn't have to be business, can be personal. I wrote down, what accomplishments are you most proud of in 2014? What are the things that you're the most proud of? Because what we're going to do is we're going to go back and review this. You're going to complete these forms, you're going to send them in to your coach, and we're going to review these with you, and we're going to remind you of the things that you're proud of and the things that you want to change and the things that you want to do to grow your business. Not just from a business perspective, but also from a financial perspective, from a personal perspective. We want to do it in all the different areas. I wrote down here, what action did you take or failed to take that you're the least proudest of? Write it down. Sometimes we learn the most by our failures. The things we either did and were a mistake, or didn't do and was a mistake that we didn't do it. I wrote down here, what are your biggest challenges? What were your biggest challenges in 2014? What do you believe is going to be your biggest challenge in 2015? And then the last question here is, what do you not want to repeat in 2015 from 2014? What's the thing that, no way. I'm not doing that again. Okay? What's the one thing that you want to make sure that you don't repeat there? Then the next 2 I'll just have you do on your own. But there, what have been my distractions, and rank them in order. And then the last page is, what corrective actions do I need to take to be more focused? I wrote down here, whatever you believe with conviction, whatever you believe with conviction starts to become your reality. Write that down. Whatever you believe, you absolutely believe with conviction, becomes your reality, whether it's true or not. Whatever you believe with conviction, whether it's true or not, starts to become your reality. Now I wrote down here also, all beliefs are learned. All beliefs are learned. Now why do I know that? Because you were not born coming out of the womb thinking that for sale by owners were bad people. I guarantee you, you didn't think that going to a for sale by owner when you were coming out of the womb, that you were convinced that for sale by owner somehow you shouldn't stop there because they were going to hurt you. So therefore, all beliefs are then there what? Learned. We learn these things. We learn these things. We learn that calling on the phone is scary. We learn that. But out of the womb, we didn't know calling on the phone was scary. We only learned that along the way. You guys get this?
Yes.
Do you get what's going on? If you think in terms of where you came from, if all the things that we believe are things that we learned from our moms and dads and aunts and uncles and sisters and brothers and siblings and strangers along the way, they're all learned. And I wrote down here, the most harmful beliefs are self-limiting beliefs. The most harmful beliefs that we can have are self-limiting beliefs. These are the beliefs about you and your potential, you and what's possible for you, that's holding you back. And you know what the interesting part is? Most of those beliefs aren't true, are they? Because I'm a girl, I can't succeed. Because I'm a young man, I can't succeed. Because I'm old, I can't succeed. Because I come from this ethnic background, I can't succeed. Because I came from that ethnic background, I can't succeed. Because my English isn't so good, I can't succeed. Here's my personal one, which I overcame, is I can't spell. I don't even care. Someone told me, this bothered me a long time ago, that I can't spell. Never took the time. It's not that I can't spell, never took the time to figure it out. Someone told me a long time ago that you can hire people that can spell. Don't worry about it. But you get the things that hold us back. They can hold us back in communication. So because I can't spell, here's what's an interesting thing for me, is that because I can't spell some words, I choose another word when I'm communicating that I can spell that kind of means the same thing. But I can speak at a pretty high level, but I can't spell at a high level. So when I write at a low level. You guys get that? It says, so if I was concerned about that, I would be working at a pretty low level, because you need to communicate both verbally and you need to communicate from a written level. That's a self-limiting belief that I had at some point along the way that got turned around, corrected, and erased. It's not even an issue. Did you guys get that? Yes. Most of our beliefs are not true. I wrote down here, the only reason you don't reach your potential is the story you're telling yourself as to why you can't reach it. We all tell ourselves a story. I'm not that good on the phones. I don't know my scripts and dialogues. I can't pronounce the name. You know, I give you guys a little secret. Don't tell anybody. When you're prospecting and you come across a name that you have difficulty pronouncing, a last name you have difficulty pronouncing, most of us skip over the name, right? Hello, come on, tell the truth. Most of us skip over the name. You want to increase your business right now, today, the rest of the day? Call everyone whose name you can't pronounce on that sheet of paper, because no one's talking to them. Hello? You get it? No one's calling them. So go out, find yourself a list of people with very difficult Polish last names and start calling all those people, because no one is calling them. There's a hint for today. All right? You'll all get a listing and a sale this week because of that idea. The only reason we don't reach our potential is the story you're telling yourself as to why you can't reach it. I wrote down here, change your story, change the activities, change your life. Change your story, change the activities, change your life. Bob and Diane and Bill and myself, this is our definition. A coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear. Sound like me? Hello? Yes. A coach is someone who tells you what you don't want to hear and has you see what you don't want to see so you can become the person you've always known you can become. That's our job. Every week, what's my job? Tell you what you don't want to hear. 5, 5, 10, do it now. Go, 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 go. You don't want to hear that anymore, do you? Hello?
Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. Have you see and hear what you don't want to see and hear so you can become the person you know you can become? So write this down. I have too many options. Write down, I have too many options. I have too many options. Many of us went to real estate school to be our own boss, right? Say yes. Yes. Okay, well, here's my suggestion. You went to real estate school so you can be your own boss. My suggestion is that you be one. Be your own boss. If you're not doing your job, what's your job? Come to the office 1 day a week, be involved in one of the blitzes 1 day a week, and the other 4 days be on the streets doing a 5-5-10 every single day. Work on your scripts, work on your dialogues, preview property, go see expireds, do it again tomorrow, right? Is that your job? Yes. If you're not doing your job, you should fire yourself. Get it? You're the boss. You're not doing your job. There's the job. What should you do? You should what? But no, what you do is you want us to be tougher on you. So here's what happens. So then we get tough on you. Okay? Go do your job. Then what do? We fire me. Great. I'm not doing that. What are you, nuts? Yeah, but you said. I don't care what I said. I'm not doing that. Question for 2015. How coachable am I? Question. How coachable am I? How coachable can I become? Wherever I am right now, okay, that's where I am. How coachable can I become? I wrote down here, finally, in 2015, surrender to the job. This is our job. I've said this many times before. Think about this. If your goal is to earn $100,000 a year, that means you need to be earning $8,300 a month. Okay? If your goal is to make $200,000 a year, you need to be earning $16,600 a month. You guys with me? Yes. Now let me ask you a question. You're the boss. Many of us have had jobs before real estate, real jobs that paid a real paycheck. They give us $2,000 a month, $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, right? $6,000 a month, whatever you had. If that employer gave you $6,000 a month, how hard would they expect you to work? Very hard. Pretty hard, right? Okay, so if your goal is $100,000 and they're paying you $8,300 a month, they're going to expect you to work pretty hard. I would assume they would expect you to show up on time. Fair enough? Yes. Okay? I would expect that they have a job description. They would expect you to do the job on a daily basis and a weekly basis and a monthly basis, especially if they're writing you a check every month for $8,300. You guys with me? Yes. Okay. So question one is, are you doing the job that your employer, who was paying you $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month for, are you doing the job at $8,300 a month that employer would continue to pay you for in the real estate business? Don't answer yet. Think about it. Now let's go one step further, because most of us don't want $100,000. We want at least what? $200,000. So $200,000 means we're going to get a paycheck of $16,600. If you paid somebody $16,600, would you expect them to do their job on a daily basis? Yes or no?
Yes.
Would they have to show up on time? Yes or no?
Yes.
You would never let them go home. You'd never let them out the door if you were writing a $16,000 a month check. You would expect everything. And yet, we have these $200,000 goals, and we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing that would earn us, should earn us, could earn us $16,000 a month. And then we're mad at ourselves, and you're mad at me, and you're mad at your coach because you're not earning $200,000 a year, and it's our fault. Well, ask yourselves this question before you do that, as you're writing your goals down. Is what you do every day commensurative to the monthly goal that you have? Whether it's $16,000, whether it's $8,300, how much is it a month if your goal's $300,000? It's almost $25,000 a month. In fact, it is $25,000. 12 times 25 is 300. $300,000 goal. It's 30 closed transactions at $10,000 per closed transaction is $300,000. That means you'd be getting paid $25,000 a month. Are you doing the activities on a daily, weekly, monthly basis equivalent to an employee who would be earning $25,000 a month? Would you pay you $25,000 a month for the work that you put out? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, I have 3 people. Good job. I wrote down here, surrender to this job. Surrender to what you want to do. Be coachable. Do the activities that you've lined out. Be focused and be committed. I wrote down here, today matters. If I did what I was supposed to do on a daily, weekly basis, would that affect my financial life positively or negatively? Positively. Positively. If I did what I was supposed to be doing today. So therefore, today matters.